I got a hand-me-down dog. I keep a second-hand cat. We all live together in a one-room run-down flat. I drive a Nash Rambler car. It never goes very far. I drink my pint of old granddad from an old green mason jar. But I got a brand new girlfriend. She's my brand new girl. And I'm sitting on top of the world, 'cause I got a brand new girl. She blows her money like a whirlwind. I got a brand new girlfriend. She drives a shiny new car. I wear shiny old slacks. She's got the fresh ideas. I spout threadbare, worn out facts. But she...
Alrighty. Howdy. So, done a couple changes here. Hopefully you can hear that I added a little bit of background music because I noticed that it's kind of quiet with Wizardry. There's not a lot of sound. So, it'd probably be worth filling that space with something. Also, you can see here, we've got my map that I've been drawing as I've been going through and playing. So, this area here is the castle where we start, and then this is that first room that we've kind of been pacing back and forth around, and occasionally pacing partly up this hallway. This room here, I think, is where we had wiped the first time and then ran away and got lost somewhere else in the maze. So hopefully that will help follow along a little bit as we play. So let's go ahead and get to it. Quiz replay. I am going to prepare myself. Wizardry. I will start a game. All right, let's go to the tavern. Start adding people. Bastion is out. Trev? Okay. So there's a way I think to do this. I think out characters are supposed to be characters that are currently in the maze. But I thought we all got back to town before I stopped last time. So we can recover lost characters in the utilities section. Maybe that's what we need to do. Let's see real quick what it means to be out. I thought we were just going to start the game. Important note, when your character joins a party, his record on this guy is marked as on expedition. Normally when you leave an expedition, are lost forever, or just leave the game, the mark is changed back to available. However, if you turn off the computer or reset it, all knowledge of things that have happened to your character since you assembled the party will be lost, and the computer will think that he is still on an expedition. The only way to recover a character like this is to use the utility function recovery program previously mentioned. Okay. So, I guess I'm supposed to leave the game here, and I didn't. So that's great. Well, let's see where we're at. This will... Thanks. Let's see. I assume that staying at the inn would have written their state, but I guess they're still on expedition. Utilities. Cover. Alright. Cool. Start game. Now we'll get to see what their stats are. Hooray! I don't think we have our level. We're gonna check that, yeah. Alright. So let's go to the end, and let's just say Hal stays at the end. Okay, thank God. Alright. Well, we didn't get the same rolls that we would have gotten last time. So, slight loss. That's okay, we'll deal. I'm sorry to hear you ran out of Yellowstone whiskey. I'm sure that is just devastating to the whole family. Okay, so Wiz earned a new spell. Sweet. And Wiz also, or Cage also learned a new spell. Alright. We didn't lose our entire party. That's great. And the AC looks like we still have all of our gear, which is good. Let's go to the edge of town. And let's enter the maze because we're going to do some healing. Now, I'm assuming that that recovery utility said no 10-year penalty and not like number 10. Because no 10 sounds too lenient for Wizardry, but it also makes more sense in English. So we'll see if we get penalized. Cast a spell, Dios, Exgen. Okay. Spell. Untrap. So we can still only cast. So Hal no longer has his additional spell slot, which is unfortunate. So we did lose that. So something that I was thinking about while doing chores today was Wizardry. And I postulate that Wizardry is not primarily a dungeon crawler. Wizardry is primarily a party management game, and dungeon crawling supports the party management. Partly because of how much thought we've had to put into equipment and everything to go into the dungeon, but then also the fact that we probably will need to be thinking about what our next party is going to be, and then begin to build them up. One example. Right now we're kind of focused primarily on leveling these characters so that they can survive in the dungeon, right? But if we're kind of on the knife's edge here, where if we wipe, that's everything done and gone. There's no recovery. Likewise, if something happens to Hal, like let's say Hal dies and we can't res him, we've lost our one priest. And we've lost a lot of progress. So what I think we're going to end up having to do is what we're going to have to do is, once we get to a point with our party, we're going to need to start to cycle people out so we have like a B squad of pre-leveled characters who can hopefully level faster, because they'll just have like 5 experienced characters in the 1 low level, and we can run them through some higher level combat. The goal being then that if something happens, like our party wipes in the maze, or if the party gets wiped in the maze, we have another party that can go back and retrieve them, and we can bring them back and try to res them. If we permanently lose a critical piece of our party, like our priest, we're not stuck with a level 1 priest that we just made. Like, we have another healer ready to go, and we can kind of continue forward, and we can start to cycle people out. So, like I said, I was thinking about that, and that feels like what this game is. And when I say like what this game is, like, what's the most coarse level feedback loop that everything else is hooking into? Because basically, engine is exactly the right term. We are building an engine of producers of the party. Cast this on Hal. Jones. Of course Jones didn't get all the way healed. Of course. But right, like, you know, the nature of feedback loops being loops, having a better party helps you better investigate the dungeon, and then the dungeon helps you better run the party. But like, I feel like I need to prioritize my party management above my mapping, if that makes sense. Like, the map will come, and it will be fine. But a large percentage of my critical thinking is going into what do I do outside of the maze and how do I prepare for the maze. I think part of what works there as well is I have the most agency outside of the maze, right? I'm making a lot of decisions about what equipment I use and how I prepare to go into the maze. And once I'm in there, I'm just reacting to stuff because it's all random. Which means then most of my decision making happens outside the maze. Like, there's micro decisions to be made inside the maze, like how do I prioritize what spells I use and, you know, react to the types of enemies I'm encountering. And that matters, but I think I'm thinking a lot harder about, good lord, what equipment, who do we pool money with? So these are kind of my bouncy thoughts that go into seeing this as a party management simulation that uses a maze to add risk and consequence to the party. Well, level 1 plus best equipment, sure. And like, as we saw, we need to do that here. But I think also level them up, because it's going to take time for us to build these characters up because we're constantly at the edge of our ability. But like, let's say we get these guys to level 5 or 6. If you can put 1 or 2 level 1s in there and then run them through higher level encounters and they'll be in the back, so it won't matter. And then they'll level twice as fast, right? And age that much more slowly. But yeah, otherwise, yeah, like the money and the equipment game is always the big thing. Right. And I definitely think, based off of how this is designed, the people at Surtech, if they probably play D&D, they were probably min-maxers, right? Because everything we're doing right now is min-maxing. Even like the instructions and how they said, hey, when you make a character, get the minimum stat you need to get the class and then dump everything else into your health. Like, that is a min-maxing move. And like the way we pooled our money. Sweet Mary and Moses. Alright, Wiz is now healed. We just need to heal the last wizard. I think that's also part of what I ran up against, and probably a lot of players ran up against when they play Wizardry and then they just wiped the first time, is, like, I would argue, like, modern JRPGs, min-maxing, like, you can min-max, but it's built to let you build balanced parties and really explore and have very few consequences for suboptimal decision-making, right? So when you approach like, oh, I have all these choices of class and they can do a bunch of cool things, of course I would go ahead and make sure that everyone's equally prepared so they have an opportunity to do, you know, something interesting and be a little bit safe. And that is not how Wizardry wants you to play. They want you to go, who matters and who doesn't. Yeah, that's very possible. Like, you use your party engine to produce the prestige class. I could see that. So yeah, all these thoughts about what character you're making, that's why this is primarily a party management sim. And like, at least that's true for this Wizardry, right? Wizardry 1. It will probably be mostly true for Wizardry 2 and 3, because I think those are basically the same code, just different scenarios. Wizardry 4 is definitely different, because I don't know if you've read about Wizardry 4. Wizardry 4 is fascinating design-wise. That is set up... let's see. Stables. Good. So in Wizardry 4, you play as the villain from Wizardry 1 who's been entombed at the center bottom floor of a maze because they couldn't actually kill you. And what you're trying to do is slowly regain your powers as an evil sorcerer to take vengeance. But you don't level through combat. There's fixed points in the maze where when you encounter them and interact with them, you gain some of your spells back, or you gain some experience to become more powerful. So you're at a fixed ability level at known points in the maze. And so the designers use that to make you much more starved for resources. And obviously that means that, like, you're not going to be cheesing the resources the way we are here, where we're going to a town and going to spend money and stuff. Like, you are in the bottom of a maze there, and all you can do is summon creatures. You will summon more creatures and get more powerful if you're able to keep pushing forward. So that is wired so differently from these other Wizardry games, alright? It's not going to play the same. And 5 looks like 1 through 3 graphically, but I don't know mechanically how it works. That was the last one to have this very classic wireframe look. Yeah, Wizardry 4 is also much more difficult to find because it did not sell well, because it's really difficult, and players did not appreciate that. It took a long time to come out, and when it did, a lot of people bounced off of it. So I'll show you a bit of what we're doing here too. Right, so right now, this is the stairs to get back up to the castle. And now I'm facing down this hallway here. So we go down, 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 down. Right, there's our door, this door. Scruffy men. Harry. Use. Catino. They're all slept. Snooze. I do have it on my list of things I want to do to make some discs of Wizardry 4 so we can eventually play it. I'm not going to be ready to play Wizardry 4 for a while because that is intimidating. What else could just parry? Nice. 206 experience points, I did. 15 golds. Sweet. So yeah, now we're facing this door. And now we're in the room. And you can see it. It's a room. Now we've walked back here. Now we're gonna walk down this hallway. I'm not brave enough yet to go deeper on the floor. I don't want to die. That makes me sad. And like Wizardry 6 and 7, at that point, those were using completely different engines and stuff, so I don't... That's where they started going more towards like sci-fi in their storylines and stuff, so I gotta imagine there's some further deviation from Wizardry 1. Wizardry 8 feels very modern. Remember, these guys didn't take much to kill. Cool. But like, it feels like a very modern game. Basically, it's done by a completely different studio. And I think that was, Brenda Romero was known for doing design on that. So I wonder, as looking on at the Wizardry series, there's definitely a lot of them, especially 8, with building different kinds of characters, because there's different races and classes and a lot of choices. But is it going to be as stringent as Wizardry 1 is, with like making sure you make the right choices at the start? Because I don't know that there's much more we could have done different and still succeed, besides basically pooling on our front line. Whereas, like, if you play Wizardry 8, is it going to give you more leeway to make weird parties? One thing, it is an interesting boon to how Wizardry 1 has gone so far. Like, it felt very rewarding to level. Like, I was excited. I hope you felt excited. And I attribute some of that to the fact that, yeah, I'm fine on camera. Some of that to the fact that it was such a hard fought, little bit of progress. Like, getting one spell felt like a really big deal, because you only have 2 spells. So, like, holy crap, we've just increased our spell output by 50%. And that's kind of the boon to Wizardry being so close-fisted, so cheap with the experience and the gold and everything. We surprised the monster, hooray! Right, like when every spell counts, otherwise you die. Getting one more spell means a lot. Parry, parry, parry. I gotta imagine that's a bit of what AD&D felt, or D&D 2nd edition felt like too. Like, you watched some of the same YouTubers and stuff that I have, and there's a lot of nostalgia. There was a lot of nostalgia for folks about playing 2nd edition D&D, and talking about like, oh, I made a wizard, and that's really hard. And I think that comes through here, where, yeah, it's really hard and unforgiving, but that means that when you do break through, holy moly. Now we're getting somewhere. So it felt really rewarding. like playing Lagoon or East 3 even, I'm sure we can remember how many levels you go through, and like it's like, oh, okay, I leveled, that's fine. I'm tempted to have Wiz sleep to get that one spell back, and then we'll go a little deeper. Let me double check. Does that make it worth a level 0 start campaign as opposed to level 1? You mean where you don't have any of your class stuff yet? Like if you're talking about D&D? I'm not sure I know what you mean by level 0. I thought we had cast sleep. I guess we already had all of our stuff, okay. Now, is that the right way to go with a D&D campaign? I don't know. I think that really depends on obviously it depends on what the party wants to do, what kind of story you want to tell. Encounter kobolds. Do you know? Alto. Apparently these kobolds can hit. Let's see what we're doing. Hal's gonna heal himself. Sweet. Get 10 golds. That and like, I don't know why I left. I should have healed Hal one more time. Oops. Edge of town, maze. Like, I don't. Why I have some pause about starting a level 0 in D&D is I think it'd be hard to have interesting decisions to make. That's my main concern. Like, we were all pretty weak and it's rewarding to level, but I could still cast spells and do things that my class would do. Right? Whereas, like, if you all started as like a bunch of villagers in D&D, if you scale the encounters appropriately, then that could give you some like low magic problem solving. That could be cool. But I think you have to invent a lot of that yourself, because at least my interpretation of how D&D plays is it's a power fantasy where the spells and the abilities are kind of the point. So yeah, to me it ends up feeling a bit like Oh, let's level again. It's like, you can do that, but you should make up your own rules so that it plays fine. Like, I'm definitely a fan of setting up adventures that I don't punish the players. No, I say that because, like, I want the players to play smart. I want them to think about their decisions and think about the world around them. That doesn't mean that that's gonna be like an unforgiving combat puzzle where if you didn't do the one dumb thing, you lose, haha. But like, I had run a short-term campaign in Dogs in the Vineyard, and like the system kind of lent itself to it, but I ran it like an episodic detective story. So they weren't using the combat mechanics that much. What they were doing is interacting with the characters I came up with and trying to piece together what the problem was that was actually going on. You can see this kind of around this corner. I'm gonna go down into this room. So that gave the players an opportunity to develop their characters and act, which was neat. The monsters surprised me. Well, okay. I'm not even gonna bother with spells because there's only one of them. Yeah. And also, like, as a player, I like feeling rewarded for cleverly using items or talking an enemy out of being hostile or something like that. I thought I did inspect. Whatever. Okay. So let's go farther down. Parry, spell, Catino, and it's not Kage Cage. It's gonna cast Sleep, or gonna cast Fire. Spell, Palto. I think we can go back and level now. Inspect. Jones will inspect. Trapless chest. Am I slept yet? Open. 8 golds. So. What have I left? Right, so like, me blathering about different ways to set up scenarios, that's all about how I would think you would have to run a level 0 part of the campaign. You're gonna be focusing on the role play, you're gonna be focusing on the acting and the creativity of social situations. I made a level. I didn't. I lost piety as a fighter, and I lost some luck. I need 11 more experience. Well, shoot. Yes, I am. And we will make sure to properly leave the game this time so we can keep those rolls. Cast a spell. Dios. These low rolls. Cast a spell. Dios. Alright. AC is going to be the chance for the enemy to hit you. Let me see. So I think these are, yeah. Strength affects combat ability. IQ and piety determine the ability to cast mage and priest spells. Vitality modifies the amount of damage that can be sustained before death. Agility determines the order which attack occurs, so that's like a combat speed. And then luck is mysterious. I'm gonna read my spell book. Pre-spells, please. I know Matu now. Matu, Verada. Matu, Blessing and Zeal. Matu's the same effects as Kalki, but double the strength. Kalki reduces the AC of all party members by 1. So I can use Matu to reduce everyone's AC right at the start. And that affects the entire party. That's pretty cool. Pretty cool. Alright, so Hal and Jones will need healed. Seriously. I'll probably be alright without healing the one on my thief for right now. I'll live to regret that later, but there's very little likelihood of getting into combat. And it's only 1 HP anyway, so they'll be fine. I would want to see our mages level up though. Skeletons! Undead kobolds! I could dispel, but I'm going to fight. Fairy spell. So Hal took a little bit of damage. Fight, fight, fight. Parry. Spell. Auto, spell. Auto. Oh, there's our front line doing what they're supposed to do. 6 gold. All right. Learned a new spell, love it. Yep. Wizardry doesn't care. They learned some new spells. So let's inspect Hal. Hal's gonna heal Hal. Oh. Now Hal's gonna heal Liz. So it is quite the relief that we're able to run this from a hard drive, because with all the different messing around and going back and forth I'm doing, like, that would have done a lot of disk IO, and I probably would have been worried every time we did it that something bad would happen and I'd just lose my characters. Alright. We're gonna heal Jones and Cage. Cool. And I want to see what Wiz and Cage got for spells. Oh, they can do 4 now. Dilto. My girlfriend has a dilto. So Halto's fire, Bowgrief, reduces the caster's AC by 2. Cool. Katino is asleep. Dumapic informs you of your party's exact displacement from the stairs to the castle. Okay, yeah, I think we saw that before. And then Dilto, darkness. Dilto causes one group of monsters to be enveloped in darkness, which reduces their ability to defend against your attacks. We are getting support spells. That is sweet. Okay, so Cage can cast 1 fewer spells than Wiz. But knows all the same spells. Well, actually, doesn't know Mogrief. So he can't increase his own AC just yet. What I find kind of interesting is if this didn't have the high resolution screen with the 3D scene, you could have run this all from a terminal. Because this is all text, right? Alright, let's continue our exploration. I do kind of wonder if... So, the complete note in here, I'll read it to you real quick. This is about characters being on expedition. Excuse me. An important note, when your character joins a party, his record on the diskette is marked as on expedition. Normally, when you leave the expedition, are lost forever, or just leave the game, the mark is changed back to available. However, if you turn off the computer or reset it, all knowledge of things that have happened to your character since you assembled the party will be lost, and the computer will think that he is still out on expedition. The only way to recover the character like this is to use the utility function recovery program, as previously mentioned. The reason for marking characters is that it provides compatibility with possible versions of Wizardry for multi-Apple networks, such as that provided by Corvus Constellations. An accidental power failure or reset press will happen once in a blue moon, and you should never have to worry about this at all. So they were thinking about the possibility of Wizardry running on a network. And I kind of wonder if there's a point where they were looking at this and seeing if they could run it through terminals, and then just like, oh, well, 3D would be sweet. That kind of locked it into being a locally run program. So we're gonna fight the skeletons. Fight the skeletons. Fight the skeletons. Parry. Spell. Catino. Against humanoids. Spell. Alto. Against humanoids. Good job, Trev. Great. No one's asleep. I'm so happy. Fight against 1. Spell. Timo. Good. Good. 2 kobolds. I used a lot of spells. We didn't take any damage, which was great. Let's go to trade post actually. Let's have Hal enter. Let me see. Let's pull our gold. Let's have 824. So I can't use plate or helmet, and I think we have a breastplate on Hal already. Let me double check if we have. I don't think we have the flail on Hal, but let's double check that. Okay, we do have the flail, so we have the updated weapon already. So let's go back to the trading post. We're gonna start buying better armor, I guess, for Bastion. So we'll get plate mail. So 4. It's kind of scary. You don't get a confirmation for that, so if you hit the wrong button, you're just going to sell your stuff. Spooky. AC of 1. So not being able to get better armor for Hal is going to be an issue, but we'll deal. Okay. All right. Another door. Interesting. So that kind of does that. Oh no, my chat went away. Yeah, there's my chat. The door. Large sign wall reads, quarters off limits turn back. Fun. Oh, stairs. So that would be stairs. Nice. Oh, interesting. So they open like this, and then there's a door and a door. We went in here. I surprised the monsters. Sweet. 10 golds. All right. So that makes sense. We'll do that. So it's that and that. That and that. Door. All sorts of doors. Oh, that makes sense. kind of want to... Yeah, we'll do that first, sure. That goes to another door. To... Oops. I don't remember what quick does. See that ahead. Right. There, that. Door and the door. Door and the door. More door. 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 I want to see what's going on over here. Actually, I think I didn't do. Oh, cute. No, that's a door. That's a door. Okay. So that's that. 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 I think I'm pretty sure. 1, 2, 3. Yeah. That turns like that. Yeah. So now we're in this other one. Carry, spell, continue, spell, auto. Oh, I had went and bought expensive armor for Bastion. I did that before I went to the dungeon this go around because we had enough money for it. I had enough money for that one because right, we've been leveling and stuff. Inspect. Poison needle. Okay. So, disarm. Jones. Disarmed it. 13 gold. right. We found a bunch of little stuff. And actually, I should probably have healed Bastion before we left. So I'll heal Bastion real quick. Let's go back to the edge of town. Back into the maze. Back to number 3. So. Cool. Bastion's now all healed. Everyone is full up. Let's go to the command. I will stay. We're close to leveling again. Let's see. Nice. Page. Let's go to Trev. And full party gold. Doesn't tell me. I guess I have to go to the trading post. Go to Trev. Trev has 300 gold. Okay, so we have 312 gold to work with right now. It took, I think, 750 to get the breastplate. Like, once we get the breastplate, that's about the best gear we can buy. Because we couldn't really get anything more for Hal. We could get stuff for the mages, and sure, but like, I think we're gonna have to look in the dungeon for more stuff. So let's do one more run through the dungeon before we call it. Like, being on the edge of death makes you like, I don't want to go super far into the dungeon. I'll lose all my characters. So I think when you run, you end up, I think I'm gonna put it this way. I think it places you at, oops, I don't remember what quick does. I think it places you at a random point in the maze. Which might have been what made me sad before when I ran away. I'm gonna run out of page. Oh god. A little asterisk here. A little asterisk here. So door line. Well, that's one of the rough parts about making maps is you don't know what the final shape of this is going to be. Technically, 2 up ahead. We surprise the monsters. I'm gonna fight the skeletons, fight the skeletons, fight the skeletons. Parry, parry, parry. The skeletons, fight the skeletons, fight the skeletons. Parry, spell, Tino. Spell, Alto. Good. Got skeletons out. $10 golds. Okay, so we're here. Interesting. That, a door, and a door. 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 Maybe I'm mapping this wrong. Was that a door I came through? I just didn't mark it? Are we in a door maze now? Oh, good. That takes us back there. Okay. So, we have these three. And then we have door. Door. Door, door, door. Door, door. This one seems to take us back here. Where does the one on the right take us? See a large statue of a hooded humanoid. There's a golden light coming from the hole in the hood. The statue is bejeweled with precious and let's see. So this is hooded statue and semi-precious stones. In front of the statue is an altar which fresh incense are burning. Murphy's ghost. Okay. Spell. Wiz. This is where we're going to up everybody's AC. No, it's the other one that does that. I might still be able to cast Dilto. Do you know Dilto? Yes. Okay. Point one. How? We're gonna have you up our AC. Batu. You're gonna cast Alto. Okay, point one. Probably should spot delete one. Okay. So no one's in super danger zone yet. Dude. Boy, I hope I do. I'm out of slots for that, so that's great. Okay, so Halto just isn't going to work on the ghost. Oh no, but the other one did. All right. Okay, so parry. Okay. So you're gonna parry, and I think you also are already exhausted, yeah, so you're just gonna parry. Thank goodness. All right. Cool. That was wonderful. So that was that one. What other House of Horrors do we have? Within the room is a statuette of a strange beast. The body of a chicken, the head of a cat. Okay. Beast statue. Statue's made of bronze. Lies on an onyx pedestal. There are unusual runes on the plaque thereon. I do not want to search it. An encounter. Monster surprised me. Great. Nice. This is a blank room. This is a trap room. Inspect is for finding bodies. This is a maze. Okay. An invisible door maze. Okay, so no, that's a wall, whatever this is. Turn to our left. That is a wall. That is a door. That is a wall. That is a wall. There's a door. That is a wall. There's a door. That's a wall. There's a wall. That is also a door. Okay. Should have a... Yeah. Did I come out of a different place? This is amazing. Do you get it? Because this would have been the door maze, right? That's a wall. That's a wall. That's a door. That's a door. It's a wall. It's a wall. Door. Wall. Door. So that would mean the one to my left. Okay, that's straightforward. It's a door. It's a door. It's a door. It's a door. It's a wall. My left. It's a wall. Right. Right. Door. It's a wall. That's a wall. That's a door. It's a wall. Assuming this is gonna be a wall. Yes. That's a door. It's a wall. It's a door. It's a wall. That takes us out. That's just a clever way to get us all the way around, it looks like. Yeah, I do remember that, Doc. So that spits me out. Here. So that maze basically took us around like this. That's what it did, right? Because you can see it just snaked us through there. That's all it did. And so this would be a statue room, this would be a statue room. This is the loop. So unless one of these ended up being an escape hatch, we're down to these. So, okay. There is more maze. Another maze. So this would be A. So maze B. So door enters here. Wall. Locked. Door. And we may be out. Hopefully. So I'm actually looking at it. So this is trap room. Going here. Okay. That's that. 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 Very dark here. We're in a dark maze. We're in a dark maze. Dark maze. Okay. So I'm at a wall. So hit right. Left. Wall. Right. Forward. Left. Wall. Right. Forward. Left. Wall. Right. Forward. Wall. right. So I think this gets us to our off limits. Holy moly. Which is, I think, this. So, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I think we're gonna make it out of here with our skin intact. Holy moly! Oh my god! Holy shit! Okay, let's review what we did here. So we fell into a trap, right? We went along this corridor and hit a trap, which was here, and that has the hooded statue, which we fought Murphy's ghosts, and then the beast statue, which I was too afraid to fight because we used a lot of our experience. We had a hidden door maze to loop around these, and I thought, based on that, if this is looping around here, and we originally came from here, one of these two doors will be our exit to loop around, right? To get out of here. So we started that, which took us through this little zigzag into the dark, and I stupidly just hit forward a bunch, so I don't know where exactly I went into the dark. But then I smartened up and realized, you know when you hit a wall, so we can just feel our way through the room, which is what they wanted, right? They wanted me to feel through the room. And I felt through the room until we found her out. And I recognized the off limits because, of course, they put that there, right? That's the landmark for the maze, because this is the off limits sign. And that's how we got through that. Good God. A literal signpost. Oh, that was gnarly. I was not excited to fight ghosts. That was... Dude, good thing we leveled, right? Like, we would not have survived those ghosts at all. We wouldn't even gotten close. Holy moly. Yes, we're at a level, we're gonna heal. Trev didn't get a whole lot of that. Well, Trev got more health, I guess. So we know how to get there now. We didn't get any spells for Wiz. That's lame. No spells for Cage either. We have so much more health. And like, thing is, like, I could have imagined in a different game, I would have noped out of like an invisible maze, but we had to get our characters out. Like, we're literally carrying along all of our progress, and if we lose them, then that's it. Hal has 1 hit point. Hal barely made it back. Great job, Hal. Let's see. We already knew Matu. Calfo allows the caster to determine the exact nature of a trap on a chest 95% of the time. Montino causes the air around a group of monsters to stop transmitting sound. Like Manifo, only some monsters will be affected, and for a very length of time. Monster and party members under the influence of the spell cannot cast spells, and they cannot utter spells. Oh, cool. So Montino allows our priest to silence casters. Pretty sweet. Between sessions, I'll probably have to clean up this map. That's about the only thing I can think to do. Murphy's Ghost did offer a crap ton of experience, so I guess that'd probably be a way to quickly level. I will say, lowering the AC of my attackers, critical to surviving that ghost attack, because you saw, like, even with that low of AC, they had like a 50-50 shot a lot of the time of hitting me. So I'm curious, how effed did you think I was once? Like, we went into the trap room, we're like, okay, this is a bad situation. But then we went into the darkness. Like, how effed did you think we were there? Al's not looking good. We need to get out. And like with all of our previous playthroughs too, like the priest is always kind of the weakest guy because he's the least defensive frontman. And he's the healer, which really is rough. I did have, so going through this like made running away make more sense since I absolutely had run away into some area of the maze that made me panic and go into the darkness. And not knowing where that was really rough. And then you remember, like, I then panic stumbled into the downstairs, which, you know, seeing how this is all set up, right? Like the off limits is here, then here's the steps to go down. It makes my running away session make more sense. And I'm really glad we found a bunch of this stuff before re-encountering this situation so I could actually navigate it. We're almost all the way healed up. All right, everyone is healed. Let's give Hal his spells back. Down. Leave the game. All right. That was a session. Golly. Well, Doc, thank you for watching. I'm gonna take a breather because we survived a lot and gained a couple levels while we're at it. So, yeah, guess I'll see you later. We'll play again.
I got a hand-me-down dog. I keep a second-hand